right, this is another cool episode of another cool rock podcast. I'm Steve, and I'm psyched to be back here as it's been a few weeks since the last episode with an interview. My guests are two members of the awesome band Sons of Silver, Peter Argyropoulos, who is their lead vocalist and rhythm guitarist, and bass player Adam Kury. This has been a very busy year for the band. January saw the release of their debut full-length album, Runaway Emotions, of which the big takeover called A Glorious Affair for the Rock and Roll Aficionado. And New Noise said the whole album is infused with a multiplexity of soaring vocals, alternative rock, and riffs. Every song pours emotion and energy. And I'm here to tell you both reviews are 100% correct. The band then went on the road where they recorded a live album, 7 Cities, 7 Songs, which just came out in early October. This is a true live album capturing the band's energy and emotion, and recording in 7 different cities is a really cool concept, which lends a cool immediacy to the music. I spoke with Peter and Adam outside their Los Angeles studio where they are recording their next album, which will come out early next year. It was a lot of fun talking with them, covering how the band was formed, songwriting, touring, and what it's like to be on the road with a young child. Peter's wife, Brina, is their keyboardist and engineer, and together they have a young son who made an appearance on the Runaway Emotions album as well. Enjoy the conversation. Then after that, go to sonsofsilver.com and to any of your favorite digital music providers to check them out and rock out. And be sure to check out the show notes where I've got all sorts of links to their social media and, of course, sonsofsilver.com. And as always, thanks for checking us out, and be sure to check out Sons of Silver up next. Sons of Silver, Peter and Adam, thank you. There you go. I knew I had a 1 in 4 chance of getting somebody's name, but 1 in 3 chance because I know Brina's not there. So thank you for joining the podcast. I really do appreciate it. I've like I was telling you before we started recording, I've really become a big fan of your music. I'm really thrilled to be talking to you guys, especially of what has basically been bookended a very busy year for you guys, starting off first in January, I believe, with your first full-length album, Runaway Emotions, which is absolutely terrific. Absolutely love. I should tell you straight away, my latest favorite song from the album is "Baby Hang On," which I can't get enough of. And right now, you guys just put out a super cool live album called 7 Cities and 7 Songs. Before we get into all that and what you guys got upcoming, you guys are in LA. Could you give me kind of the origin story of how Sons of Silver got started?
You want to do it? You want me to do it?
You can start it.
All right. Well, bottom line is Adam and I met about a quarter century ago. And we were put together by another producer, and we formed a band called Last December, which did really well here in LA. Got chewed up and spit out by the major label system over a few years, but we stayed close. And we're doing a bunch of other things together. And then several years ago, I wanted to do some solo stuff. So I called Adam. I said, "Hey, you want to do a singer-songwriter thing with me?" He said, "Yeah, great." I said, "You want to put a band together for me?" And he did. And then we immediately started touring quite a bit around the country. And one thing led to another. After really only a year or two, we'd evolved from a singer-songwriter thing into a band, a rock band. And so we rechristened ourselves Sons of Silver, and that got us to where we were 5 years ago when we put out our first EP, Doomsday Noises.
Wow. So at what point, you guys all have great resumes and really cool pedigrees. At what point did you just kind of feel like where it all hit you when you went, okay, this is it. This is the 5 of us. This is the unit. This is where we got it.
Well, it's kind of a never-ending thing. I mean, I think that, you get together and you work on things, and you when the results come in and you're like, okay, this is great. Let's do more of this. I think it kind of sneaks up on you. It's the cart before the horse. Like the results keep you excited, so you keep coming back.
Yeah, and we all instantly liked each other. There was just a natural camaraderie. I mean, it was always friends of friends of friends. So it wasn't like we were, running ads in a newspaper or online looking for other musicians. So it was very natural, and it was like Adam said, the music works, it doesn't, and it worked from the get-go. We really never had any hiccups. And not just with the music, but also working together has always been perfectly fluid.
That's great. So you guys get started, you get rolling, you got EPs, and then right around there, or maybe the EPs came out after COVID hits and there's lockdown. And of course, that threw a wrench in everybody's plans, every band's plans. But for you guys basically, from what I've read, totally woodshedded and got super creative and wrote a lot.
We did. We had nothing else to do.
Yeah, we couldn't tour, so we figured let's do something
Right.
productive with it. We're stuck here. Let's get in the studio.
It was actually kind of fun. And also, during the first year of COVID, Brina was pregnant with our first son, or our only son, and our first child. And so that was kind of a nice way to sort of slow down a little bit. I mean, well, I shouldn't say it was a nice way, but it wasn't necessarily as inopportune for us as it would have otherwise been. And even that first year after, we had a 1-year-old, 6-month-old. So it was cool. But we just put the time together in the studio. And we had a lot of fun, actually.
And we should make mention that your son had his recording debut on the album Runaway Emotions, correct? He's on there.
There are a few blips and bleeps of him on there. I think at the end of Just Getting Started. Yeah, that's him. He was missing Daddy while I was cutting a vocal, so I just picked him up and sang a few
Not to
takes.
mention, he's a video star with us, too.
Exactly. He really is a star. By the way, on a total tangent, I was thinking the other day we should sell some exclusive vinyl with just Julian's
Yes,
signature.
that's right.
I was perusing the website just on a side note. Tell me you've got t-shirts or merch for little kids and babies, correct?
We don't yet. We need some though.
Son's a silver onesie with tour
Oh.
dates on the back, maybe,
Next tour.
There
Next
you
tour.
go. There you go. So forgive me if I mess up the timeline a bit, but the EPs came out coming out of lockdown or out of COVID.
No, right at the top of COVID, like right before we dropped those.
Okay.
We recorded them before COVID.
The first one we did.
Yeah, and then the second one it came out. COVID, it just started, but we'd written and recorded all of that before COVID, and we just were never able to tour, especially the second one because everything just shut us down.
The first one came out. The first one we finished in like 2019, landed 2019, wow. And it came out in June of 2020, and we were planning to tour a lot. We already had a bunch of dates penciled in to support that release. That's the Doomsday Noises one with like Read 'Em Your Rights and stuff on it. And obviously we couldn't tour. So we had already started a few of the songs for the second EP, Ordinary Sex Appeal. So that's when we went in the summer, fall of 2020 and recorded more songs that became our second EP, Ordinary Sex Appeal. But that one was done by the end of 2020. We just didn't release it until mid 2022 because we couldn't tour to support it, as Adam was saying, and also because our first one was getting some good mileage.
Right. Okay. So what I was getting at really was COVID. You're so creative. You're writing all these songs, and were there a lot of songs you had to choose from for Runaway Emotions? Because what I'm getting at is that when I listen to this album, it's sequenced perfectly. It's just 10 great tracks. I'm an album guy, even with Spotify and everything else, I listen to songs. I'll put songs on playlists, but there's the opening track, there's the middle, there's the ending. Were there a lot of songs to choose from? How did you narrow it down, or pretty much the songs identify themselves going, we think this is going to make the next album?
Yeah, I think when we first start, we're just doing songs, and we're writing things and we're going with whatever excites us. Once we get to a certain number and everything, then we start thinking, are we going to do an EP or an album? And then you start grouping songs together. So I would say probably for anything, we probably write at least twice as much as we release. And then we pick the ones that seem like they fit together, that complement each other. And the others either get saved for another release or just cataloged.
Yeah, no, I'll add to that. In this case, if my memory serves me right, our initial plan was just to do an EP, to have it out in the fall of 2022 or 2023.
Yeah. But we were stuck in the studio. We just kept writing.
Yeah, so we were like, well, we have extra songs. Let's just do an album. So we ended up with an album.
Right. Well, if the muse is there and the songs keep coming, don't stop, right? I mean, you'll use them someday.
We also had a switch over. Our original drummer, Dave Cruzen, left. He left the band in 2021, 22. after we'd finished the second EP. And so we bided our time working with another drummer or two along that during the way, hoping Dave would come back, and he did briefly, but ultimately it wasn't right for him. So that's when Mark joined the band. That's the only lineup change we've had. That's when Mark joined the band, and excuse me, it actually shortened the list because we were like, well, we want to work on a bunch of new songs then. But at the same time, it brought some new, fresh perspective and energy on some of the songs that we had laying around. So I don't know what that all means that I just said, but that was part of the process.
Yeah.
It works. No, I love learning and hearing about the evolution of how things happen. I mean, because the creative process to me and what comes out from it has always fascinated me. And any insight to how that stuff happens, I'm always love talking about. As far as recording the album, Tim Palmer, amazing resume. He produced Runaway Emotions.
No, we produced it. No,
Oh,
he
you
just mixed
produced.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, he
Oh,
just did the
mixed it.
final
I'm
mix.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's right. Okay. So how did you end up getting the music to his ears?
Through one of our folks at Universal. We were looking for
Okay.
someone. We were looking for someone to mix it. Breen had done some mixing of the previous EPs. John Fields had mixed most, if not all, of Ordinary Sex Appeal. We were trying different people out, and frankly, we were getting a little concerned because we weren't getting what we wanted. Someone recommended Tim. I called up Tim, sent him a track. In fact, I sent him Runaway Emotions. And his first mix
Running out of words.
oh, running out of words. Sorry, and I'm a little tired today.
That's all right.
Nonetheless, his first draft of running out of words was a home run. It was a grand slam. It brought tears. No, I would say tears to Brian's eyes. She was out and out crying, and because she was so happy. So with that, we scheduled it, and he mixed the rest of the album. And I think in the credits it does list additional production because he did play some
Okay.
extra guitars and some keyboards and stuff on there. So he did more than just mix the album. He was really key in helping shape the final thing. But when we're recording, it's just the five of us. It's myself, Adam, and Kevin, and Mark recording, Brina engineering. Recording us, she plays keys. Otherwise, that's it. There's never ever anyone else in the room.
It's a totally enclosed unit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which we like, if anything, because we're completely self-contained and we all trust each other and know each other so intimately.
Right on. So you mentioned Running Out of Words. That was the first song I discovered from you guys, and then Tell Me This, and then from there I just went down the rabbit hole into the full album and your EPs, and the album really does sound incredible. So the album comes
Thank
out.
you.
It just comes out in January. Previously, you guys were on the road last year, correct? Was it with Dogstar? The album comes out, and for the most part, you've been touring most of the year. Was it with Miles Kennedy?
Or just 6 weeks.
About 6-7 weeks at the beginning of the year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So,
we've been home.
Got it. So you tour. The album comes out. You're touring behind the album, and then at what point? How did it plan out to where this live EP comes out, which just came out in October, 7 cities, 7 songs. And I got to ask what cities they were recorded in. I absolutely love the EP. And
I think they're all listed on there too.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It should be listed on.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's listed in the digital services like Spotify or the likes of that. But
But basically, just when we were out on the tour with our monitor rig, we can also record directly into it. And we came back and we're like, let's see what we sounded like, and we threw it up and we were like, this sounds really good. We think we can release this stuff. And then it's like, okay, how do you release it? What's the angle? And then I think you came up with the 7 cities thing.
No, that was you.
It was me?
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
okay.
what it was is that one of the debates we had was whether or not we should do something traditionally with the live album, where it's one show from A to Z. I felt like I wanted to do something where there was one song from a bunch of as many venues as we could get, so that a wider array of people could latch on to that, basically saying, "Oh, I was there for that night." I was there. So that was the running debate. But once we settled on that, then Adam was like, "Well, how many how many songs are we going to put on? I said 7. And he goes, how many cities? I said 7. He goes, 7 cities, 7 songs. And I said,
Yeah.
done.
Take it to Vegas and go gambling.
That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like I said. We were when we did that, we weren't necessarily intending to release a live record, but like I said, we got back and we started listening to stuff, and we were like, "This is like a gift. It's done."
Yeah.
And we didn't have to do anything to it other than clean it up and get it mixed. That was it.
Yeah.
You just answered my next question, because as you know, so many of our famous live albums end up getting some punch ups and some different things done in the studio, which
This is us.
This is live. The only thing we had to fix was Brina's vocal. There was too much. There was too much drum.
Yeah.
Her singing was perfect, but there were too much drum bleed in her microphone. So she re-sang her vocals. But in all fairness, she sang on her microphone.
Yeah.
She did it all in one take, literally boom, 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 just sang it all down.
Yeah, it wasn't a performance issue at all. Like, it was just literally a sonic thing. But so everything you're hearing on that record, there's no supplementals, nothing added. It's us.
So when stuff there are a few notes there especially between Adam and I, where it's like, okay, but it's live.
Yeah,
it's live, and it's a real great snapshot of your live show. What I really love about it is you can hear the differences in the crowds.
Yeah.
It's not just, and I'm sure obviously every show is different. The emotion of the crowd, the energy of the crowd is different.
Yep.
And it works, because most of this live albums that we all grew up with and know, it's just one gigantic, crowd noise, right? And there's nothing bad about that, of course, but this, I get a feeling of different energies and different emotions in there.
Yeah, you don't have to put the air quotes around live album for us.
Yeah. No, it's really, and it's funny you mentioned that about this audience and the likes, because one of the things because Tim Palmer mixed it as well, and Tim and I were discussing audience volume, things like that, and he's like, should I supplement it, or do you want me to supplement it with anything? I said no. I said we played in large clubs, small theaters. I said, treat it like that. Just make sure that it comes across. And so if you have to boost the mics and spots to make sure it translates, because some nights, no matter what you do, the crowd may be loud, but it just doesn't get into the mics in the same way. So, but aside from that, I said, keep it true. I said, we want this to be true to that moment.
That's great. Yeah, you can hear it. I mean, it really comes across. Certainly it comes across on, whether it's headphones or my computer speakers. And that's saying something nowadays, where, of course I want to get the vinyl or the CD, which I ultimately end up doing, but most immediately it's what I'm hearing through earbuds, and that energy's there, which you can't always say for a lot of the stuff you hear digitally. So kudos.
Thank you. We appreciate it. I was going to be quite frank with you. I think we're a little taken aback by the response. I think personally, part of it may be the fact that we were willing to put out really an unfixed or live album. It's just a really bare bones live album, and that just doesn't seem to happen much.
No, and I mean, I've always been a fan, regardless, not even talking about our band, but just in general, of the warts and all live performances.
Yeah, me too.
I want it to sound like what it really was like being there, not some touched up thing. You know what I mean? To me, I mean, there's like you mentioned, there's some albums where they've gone back and basically re-recorded the entire thing, and it's like, yeah, that's cool, but I want to know what it was. I want to get a sense of the sweat in the room and the energy,
Right. So how hard was it to narrow down the 7 songs, or they pretty much jump out yet?
Well, we only did 8 or 9 in the set.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Got it.
They were opening sets, so it wasn't like we were playing 90 minutes.
Actually, we those 7 songs were the only 7 songs we used.
We didn't have any more in the set.
No, we had more songs. We just didn't use them. We used a 6-song set, and a couple nights we would cross it up with different songs.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, we had but as Adam said, we had a very short, limited set. And as far as choosing the songs, I mean, frankly, the hard work was done by Kevin, who had to do a bunch of preliminary mixes on stuff that ended up on our bootleg store. And then I went through with a spreadsheet. I narrowed it down, showed it to everyone. They were like, yeah, you just make the decision.
Yeah.
And and that was that. So it wasn't too hard. It was just a little tedious, a
Yeah.
little time consuming to just narrow it down. So like, okay, this song works for this night, and
Yeah. Just finding the right energies of each one.
exactly, the right flow.
Right on, right on. So you guys are talking to me from your studio,
Yeah,
and that is a perfect segue to what you guys are working on now, a new album for next year, which is
Yep.
not too, which is we're only 8 weeks away from the new year. Hard to believe.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're planning. We should have some singles ready by January, February at the latest, and then the album sometime later in the year. We've got a nice batch of songs that we're well along. We've demoed them very
Got about 18 done up.
thoroughly. We'll probably add a few more.
And like same process, we'll narrow that down. Obviously, we won't release all 18. We'll decide which ones make for the right collection.
We could do a volume 1 and 2.
Oh yeah, perfect.
There you go. So when you guys started recording, did that batch of songs, you knew it was demoed, it was ready to go when you started recording the album, but have there been other songs that maybe you're finishing, or Peter, you might go, Adam, hey, you know that song we were working on whenever day was, I think I got a bridge for it, whatever it might be. I mean, is it hard to like kind of just go, okay, I got to finish these songs, but I really want to record this one because this one's really jumping out at me now, if that makes sense.
There's a few like that. Not too many, because usually when we go through it, we kind of know what we want, and the ones we set aside, sometimes we're set aside for reasons.
Yeah.
And we can go back and work them, but we just wrote 17 or 18 new songs for this, so we don't have a super need. But every once in a while, there's that one song you're like, you know what, this would be really good with these songs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say that the main thing about us with regards to writing and recording is that we all work together. So yeah, someone may bring in an idea or two, but 90% of the heavy lifting is done together, and it either works or it doesn't. And it usually takes two rehearsals to get something right. And I don't mean all day, a couple hours on a song one day, a couple hours another, and then we kind of know and then it may take another time to just bear down for an hour or two just to close it out, to cross the finish line with it. But we all know, and it's something that if all 5 of us aren't feeling it, then usually there's a reason. We just move on, or we make an adjustment, and there's no big deal. Let's come up with another thing. We don't grip too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't sweat the small stuff, so to speak, right? I mean, it's I love the fact that it's very collaborative. And you also answered another question of mine when that was before the demos. I mean, you're rehearsing it, you get the song down, you do the demo, and then you got it, right?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, and sometimes we'll come back and review things. We feel like, we nailed this, and then you come back a few weeks later and you're like, you know what, this section just isn't sitting right now on a listen with a different perspective. And sometimes you walk back and we've fired up songs. We're like, okay, we got to dig into this one and do some work on it. We need another part for this, and we listen to it and we go, what were we thinking? This is done.
Yeah,
It happens both ways.
Yeah,
right, sure, yeah. And because I can imagine, obviously moods change. Performances might change, just how you're hearing things could change, I guess, right? Or just somebody else coming up with a different idea. So I would guess it's almost like if you're writing a book, just kind of, maybe editing it down a bit or getting to where you want it, right?
Absolutely. It's no different.
Yeah.
Except you have 5 people working on it.
But on the good side is if you get all 5 people in agreement, you have something.
Yeah. And you got to be patient so everyone has their say. And I don't necessarily mean in a democratic sense, just in the sense of like, if someone has something they really want to say, it's probably because it's something that should be heard.
Got it. So the new album will come out later in the year, preceded by some singles. Is there going to be touring plans?
Working on it right now.
Working on now.
We could get it in a notice any day. What's going on? We will be on the road though.
Well, I'm in Minneapolis, so we'll have my alerts going off for you guys to see you guys here. And I'm sure if you've ever, I would bet you've probably been through here before. There's some great venues to play. So, a couple quick sort of lightning round questions, if you will. The last, say, 20 or 30 minutes before it's set time. Where are you guys at? What are you guys doing? Has the set list already been decided?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
we're good to go. Yeah, yeah. I mean, usually it's if we're out as a support act, we've probably just finished sound check and we go back and change if we need a little bite to eat or get some water in us and just get ready. There's not usually a bunch of time if you're the support act.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're set up as long as we know all our gear's working right, and it's just a kind of hurry up and wait thing,
Yeah.
pacing around like waiting to get out.
I may go sleep in my bunk for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just recharge real quick.
Yeah. I mean, especially because Bree and I bring our son who's 4 going on 5. So he's got us very busy during the day, and that extra, 10, 15 minutes for you at the stage helps a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you segued into a question I had, and that is, it's got to be awesome to have your wife in the band, but also, you got your family there. I mean, there might be homesickness, but it's a different kind of homesickness because you're seeing the people you love every day, and you're also making amazing memories. I mean, what you're going to tell your son when he's in high school, he'll be able to impress a lot of friends.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's great. And it's great because, we're all as a band extremely close. So, other significant, like Adam's wife will fly in for a show, his kids not as much because they're busy running around. But then Mark, his daughter, will fly in with his wife. Sometimes Kevin's son, who's around 10, 12 years old, he'll come in. So it's always nice when the families are around, for any of us, and it does make for really good memories. I would say from my end, I'm really curious what our son Julian's going to say in 10, 20 years from now, because most of the kids I've met who've done this, they're like, oh, it's the most amazing thing of all. But sometimes I look at it and I'm like, okay,
he's loving it. He's having the best time.
I just will say this. I don't want to get into the details of it, but about a year and a half ago, right before our first big one, just a long story short, we were fortunate enough to meet Bono of U2, his wife.
Oh, wow.
And Brina was talking to her for a good 30, 40 minutes. And then Brina had no clue whom she was speaking to. And but Brina was mentioning she was nervous about going on the road. And Bono's wife, again, Brina not knowing who she is, was like, oh, I used to do that and you'll be fine, blah, 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 blah. So we walk out and I say to Brina, I said, you know who you were talking to? And she said, no, but she said it's going to be fine. She told me, she gave me some tips on touring. I'm like, well, that's a different level there, honey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Learjets and yeah.
Yes.
She said she was in tour bus. She did. We were in tour buses the whole time. Yeah.
I mean, it's a great way to see the USA and anywhere else you go, right? I mean,
plus you always have your comforts with you. I mean, that's the thing. It's like when you're touring. I mean, Learjet aside, which I've never that brochure looks great, but just like traveling on planes and things, it's difficult because you're getting up early in the morning.
Oh, yeah.
You have to pack all your stuff every day. You have to make a lobby call. You got to get there. It wears you out. On the bus, you get on the bus, you go to sleep, you wake up right where you're supposed to be the next day.
Yeah,
it's actually more relaxing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So sontosilver.com is a website where a few hours ago I discovered that awesome bootlegs page, which I think is just a super cool idea. So I've got even more to dig into.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we were making a face because there was a car that we're outside.
Something exploded out there.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay,
just
good.
A car starting. Yeah. That's a pretty recent thing you just got up there, right?
Yeah, we got up a few months ago. We have some more shows to add to it. We've just gotten a little backlogged on work here. But yeah, we would like it too, especially once we're back out on the road, because we've got a good system set up now where we can finish a show and Adam or Kevin can flip up, or Brina can flip up their laptops, quickly do a mix and get it out so that, if not that night, by the next day, if you were at a show, you can download that show.
And some of those songs that we talked about, like, when you're putting together the record and not everything makes it, there's songs we like. Yeah. We might fly some of those things up there.
Oh,
we've even talked about when the record's getting to a close, reaching out to fans for a couple of songs to say, which ones do you vote for on this record?
Yeah.
So we want to do a lot of things with that fan page and really get a connection with the fans, because I think both for them and for us, I think it's really beneficial.
Yeah.
That is a great idea, and I love how what you're doing there, but I also love the fact that just the way this year has been, where
hold on 1 second,
sure.
Sorry. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take care. Sorry, Steve.
No worries. I was saying I love what you guys are doing as far as just the constant flow of music pretty much, right? I mean, I used to hate having to wait 3 or 4 years before I heard anything from a new band
Right.
or from a band I loved, right? And you start the year with the album, you close the year with a live album, you got bootlegs up there, you got other stuff. I mean, just it's that involvement and keeping
Yeah.
things fresh and keep, in a time where everybody's attention spans are all over the place. There's so many things capturing your ear and eye. I love the fact that you guys are putting out so much quality music and consistently and regularly, and I don't have to wait to hear that long to hear good stuff.
Thank
Right.
you. Yeah. Well, these days, if you don't, you're dead.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
disappear real fast.
Yeah.
People, they're, to your point, the attention span, they're on to other things. And if you don't release something for somebody to dig into, they stop thinking about you.
Right
Yeah.
on.
And also with that, we are, I would say, pretty prolific one way or the other anyway. So it's actually nice that there's the demand there, that there are the outlets there to do that. Because to sit there and work on something for 3 or 4 years, I think I would be very confused.
Yeah.
I would overthink it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a high grade problem. If you have a record that blows up that's big enough that you can't release anything for that amount of time, that's a different story.
I don't even know that. I mean, look at Taylor Swift. Now I know that's a different animal because she's got a whole team of writers and producers, but nonetheless, she's putting out an album every year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Biggest
pretty much.
biggest act in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And that's, I mean, it's really, you just keep the music coming and the fans are going to spread the word exponentially.
Hopefully.
That's what I've always felt.
that's what seems to be happening. So yeah.
So,
Awesome. Well, guys, I will make sure the show notes, everybody's knows where to find you guys, sonsofsilver.com. You're on all the social media. You're on the streaming platforms. You got physical product up on the website and places. So I really I'll make sure everybody knows about it as best I can. I really appreciate the time here. So
We really appreciate it so much, Steve. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.